Welcome to our presentation for IKEA's 2019 UK ad, Silence the Critics, presented by Francisco Perdomo, Abigail Castro, and Alison DiLatel.
Hello, and welcome to IKEA in the United Kingdom. Organization background. IKEA is a Swedish company that designs ready-to-build furniture, kitchen appliances, home accessories, and many other useful goods and home services. IKEA's mission statement is to provide a better everyday life for people, and keeping the mission alive are their everyday employees. The team at IKEA share the same principle that many should be able to create the home that they want and dream of at a reasonable price. IKEA's vision is to create a better everyday life for the many people. IKEA also holds 8 key values close to their heart: togetherness, caring for people and the planet, cost conscientiousness, simplicity, to renew and improve, different with a meaning, give and take responsibility, and lead by example. About IKEA. IKEA was first started as a tiny Swedish business by Ingvar Kamprad at age 17 back in 1943 and has definitely come a long way. IKEA is now one of the most well-known furnishing brands in the entire world, and they are not an ordinary furniture store. They fight for many important causes such as poverty, climate change, and a zero-waste policy when throwing away materials. They are diverse all throughout the world and equally accept all types of races, cultures, and religions, and allow equal jobs for races and genders. SWOT. IKEA's strengths include that they are an established company, they have 336 stores globally, and they have a sustainable, cost-effective catalog. Their opportunities include that the current economy has increased demand for lower-priced products, there's an increasing demand for sustainable products and online sales. Their challenges may include that their weaknesses are different country cultural views than the United Kingdom or any country that they're hosted in, their barriers to enter certain profitable markets, and their threats are that they have increased competitive pressure from rival brands and a weak online catalog during the pandemic. The United Kingdom's political system. The United Kingdom is a parliamentary democracy under a constitutional monarchy. This means that while a monarch, in this case Queen Elizabeth II, is the head of state, she is not the head of government. She does not get to make the most of the decisions about how the government is run. That job belongs to the Prime Minister of the country. The English monarchy used to have absolute power, but that was a long time ago. 2015 was the 800th anniversary of the Magna Carta, or the Great Charter. The United Kingdom also uses the Bill of Rights, which is still in effect to this day, and lays down limits on the powers of the Crown and sets out the rights of Parliament and rules for the freedom of speech in the Parliament, the requirement for regular elections to Parliament, and the right to petition the monarch without fear of retribution. The United Kingdom also has 3 basic types of powers: legislative, executive, and judiciary. People vote in elections for members of Parliament to represent them. The party that gets the most seats in Parliament forms the government. For example, right now the Conservatives have the most seats in Parliament, so the United Kingdom has a conservative government. To be able to vote, you must be 18 or older on the day of the election. You must be a Commonwealth citizen. You must have an address in the United Kingdom, and you must be eligible to vote. The United Kingdom system operates on a majority vote system, and the United Kingdom, as you can see on the right, had both a great freedom score and corruption perception index score. In the Freedom in the World score, they ranked 94 out of 100, with 39 out of 40 in political rights and 55 out of 60 in civil liberties. The United Kingdom in the CPI score ranked 12th out of 198, which is great, and 77 out of 100 overall. The United Kingdom's economic system. The GDP of last year was 2.83 trillion USD, which made it the 6th largest economy in the world. The purchasing power parity ranked 9th out of every country, which was 3.04 trillion USD. The annual growth rate change was 1.4%, and the average annual income per capita was £30,000. The unemployment rate was 4.5%, while the inflation rate was 1.74%. The FDI inflow was 59 billion USD, which dropped from 65 billion the year before. The public debt of the United Kingdom is 85.4% of the GDP. The United Kingdom's economic freedom score is 79.3, making its economy the seventh freest in the 2020 index. Its overall score has increased by 0.4 points due to improvements in the government's integrity and fiscal health. The United Kingdom is ranked third among 45 countries in the EU region, and its overall score is well above the regional and world averages. GDP growth has been solid for the past 5 years, but slowed in 2018 amid confusion about Brexit. The economy of the United Kingdom has slowly been climbing the ranks of the mostly free for the past decade. Although some economic disruptions are likely, the United Kingdom will also have new opportunities to expand economic freedom, especially by reducing the tax burden and government spending and pursuing new trade agreements with the United States and other countries. The United Kingdom's media system and technological advances. The UK provides for freedom of expression as a qualified right that may be restricted in certain circumstances as prescribed by the law. Like censorship in most countries, the United Kingdom does their diligent job to take fake information off the internet and in the papers. The United Kingdom was home to 45 million active social media users in 2020, which translated to a social media penetration rate of 66% of the population in the UK. The level of social media penetration sits above the global average of 45% and puts it 18th overall worldwide. 80% of UK citizens use YouTube, 57% use Facebook, 46% use Instagram, 39% use Google, 38% of citizens are on Twitter, and 34% use LinkedIn for work. 94.9% of UK citizens use the internet for work, school, or recreational use. Circulation of national newspaper titles has decreased 52.5% over the past 8 years. National newspaper circulation in the UK has decreased from 22 million in 2010 to 10.4 million in 2018, which is a decline of 52.5%. 99% of people in the United Kingdom can read and write, which is a great literacy rate. As you can see on the right, they are ranked 35 in the 2020 World Press Freedom Index. Also, to the right of that, you can see the top 18 overall worldwide social media penetration users for country.
Both countries possess very similar cultural dimensions, which made it easy for IKEA to advertise in the UK. Both countries have similar power distance and individualism scores, which means they believe all people should be equal as well as they value their independence. Their masculinity scores differ greatly as Sweden is a feminine country while the UK is more masculine. Sweden's culture is based off a word called lagom, which means everything in moderation. No one goes without and no one puts themselves above anyone else, while the UK is very success driven and doesn't always mean what they say. Both countries possess similar scores in uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence, which means they both as a society have relaxed attitude and hold a positive, optimistic attitude that value their leisure time, which can be seen in the IKEA commercial. The UK currently has a population of 67,886,011 people. Married or civil partners are the most common household in the UK. The number of households grew by 0.9% since the previous year to 27.8 million in 2019. That was an increase of 6.8% over the last 10 years. In 2019, married and civil partner couple families accounted for the largest share of families with dependent children, followed by lone parent families and cohabiting couples, which is why IKEA use a family as their main characters. IKEA also used the popular grime artist DEE to connect their audience with a part of UK musical history. Grime is a music genre that emerged in the early 2000s in London. Some popular artists that emerged from grime are Dizzy Rascal, Kano, Wiley, Lethal Bizzle, and DEE. Also, the use of talking objects grabs the attention of children while using a catchy tune. The commercial has an element for everyone to enjoy.
In our presentation, we have included the Christmas ad.
I must.
The campaign launched with film across broadcast and VOD TV, which is video on demand, cinema, and digital media on November 8th of 2019. There are 90-second, 60-second, and 20-second cuts of the video, supported by OOH, the press, CRM, and PR. Bespoke social content features 3 films that show how to tackle potential home shame with simple changes using handy tips and IKEA products. Social media also used the hashtag #WonderfulEveryday to promote this campaign.
Sarah Green, the county marketing manager, explains they wanted the impact of the commercial to be to help people get over their holiday blues of hosting guests because they are ashamed of their home. They were hoping to get everyone in the spirit of the holidays to be proud of what they have and give everyone the vision that any home can be transformed into something they are proud of. Since it was a holiday commercial, the advertisement ran from early November, from about November 8th through the holiday season in 2019. Since it was just a holiday commercial, no special actions were taken and no special events happened before or during the airing of the commercial. The theme of the commercial was the holidays, of course, but it was also about decorating your home together as a family and just spending quality time with family and friends. The key message of the commercial, as discussed before, was just to silence the critics in your head telling you that your home isn't good enough. Many people shy away from inviting people to their home because they think it isn't good enough, but any home can be transformed into something you can be proud of.
For our evaluation of this campaign, it is seen that inanimate objects, including lucky cats, a scary rabbit teapot, porcelain snails, pandas, and a duck handle umbrella, certainly bring the mom's insecurities to life by rapping an original grime track voiced by MCDEE. Now, creatives and other TV luminaries did vote Silence the Critics by Mother London the best TV ad of all of those that launched in November and December of 2019. And even though that is a huge accomplishment, we had a hard time finding any real information to discover how successful the ad truly was and if it caused an increase in sales for IKEA. Some of the key takeaways and summary for this campaign is IKEA is a well-known furniture brand headquartered in the US. The UK launched its first IKEA Christmas ad in 2019. The ad encourages viewers to overcome the fear of their home being shamed during the holiday season. The ad was directed by Tom Kuntz and the music is Fresh and Clean by Double DE, and we included the link so that you can listen to the full version of the song if you'd like. At the very end, there's an excerpt that comes from IKEA, and it's just a little blurb that explains what their mission was for this IKEA ad. And it says, when it comes to hosting, we all have those little voices in the back of our heads that say our home isn't up to the job. And whether it's the chipped mug, the crack in the wall, the weirdly shaped bathroom, or the living room that has as much personality as a cardboard box, the voices seem to zoom in on our biggest fears and magnify them until we declare our home a no-go zone. But at IKEA, we believe every home is worthy of a get-together and that with a little imagination and some clever IKEA products and ideas, there's no reason not to host. In this campaign, we wanted to inspire the nation to get their home homes party ready and silence the critics once and for all. We want to thank you for taking the time to review our presentation. Here you can find additional information on where we found our sources for our presentation.